Hey guys, Nathan Middle Down Under here. Hope you're doing well. Today I've got a rather lengthy update. So if you want to skip through, feel free. Or if you just want to turn it off, that's all good too. But this is all stuff I picked up while I was overseas, including some pretty awesome Grails, in my opinion anyway. Certainly not Grails for everybody out there, but these are albums I've been wanting for a very long time. I've got 3 major Grails, and then I've got a few semi-Grails as well. Now, I had 3 major Grails on my want list for the longest time, and now they're taken off the want list because I have all 3 of them. Now, I picked up all 3 of these albums in Greece. Now, Greece is an amazing place for buying records, especially in heavy metal genre. There's so much out there. And the area I was staying in, there was so many record stores, about 6 or 7 in within 20 minutes walking distance. So it was awesome to go to those, and I found some pretty cool stuff. And the prices in Greece, the prices are pretty amazing. Even taking into consideration New Zealand's shitty exchange rate, the prices were pretty damn good. Unlike some of the other countries I visited, a lot more expensive. But yeah, I'm going to crack on because this video is going to take a little while, and we're already 1 minute and 23 in. Now, this is my #1 Grail. I've spoken about this album many times, how I've been after it, and if anybody could track me down a copy. But yep, I actually found 2 of them. So yeah, I snagged both because it's an album I do not see over here at all. And that is the album Dangerous Curves. Got the name there for a minute. By Leader Ford. Sorry about the glare there, but yep, 2 pristine copies. One of them in particular looks like it's never ever been played, and I picked them both up in Greece. I'll take it out of the shrink, out of the sleeve. But yep, fantastic album from I think it's 1991, so it's a harder album to find on vinyl because obviously not as many were pressed. Now, this was the last Leader Ford album I wanted on vinyl. I have it on cassette, I don't have it on CD, and I never had it on vinyl. So yeah, so happy to finally found this with an iconic cover of Leader Ford there from America. She actually played at the festival, like an open air. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see her set, which was a bit of a bummer, but there's so many bands to see. But yeah, there's the back there, and if you show you the sleeve, fantastic photograph there of Lita, and we have lyrics on the back. The other one's exactly the same, but yeah, absolutely stoked when I found the first copy. But then when I found the second copy, I thought, wow, it's my lucky day. So yeah, that's my #1 Grail ticked off the list. And get it back in the sleeve. Yeah, I'm so happy to have 2 copies of Leader Ford. One of them is going to be my play copy, and the other one I might even put up in a frame on display since I've been wanting it for the longest time. Not sure yet, but I'm definitely keeping both of them. Next one, the only other Alice Cooper album I wanted in my collection. Now, this is the hard rock, hair metal, glam metal era of Alice Cooper, and I really, really wanted this album, and that is Raise Your Fist and Yell. Alice Cooper, once again, as I said, I found this one in Greece too. So stoked to finally have this with this iconic cover. This is his album from 88, I think. 87. There's the back there, so yeah, fantastic. I was on the lookout for all these albums, and I couldn't believe I found them. And there's see there, Anderson came out on, what did it come out on? MCA Records, and just on your standard black wax, very, very thin vinyl. But yeah, very, very happy I've also found Alice Cooper's Raise Your Fists and Yell. So that is another major grail ticked off the list. And the third major grail, the debut album from this underrated glam metal band. It started out in the 80s, and that is the debut from the one and only Lillian Axe. Absolutely fantastic album. Their second album, Love and War, is one of my favourite albums of all time. But this is pretty damn close to that one as well. And yeah, I actually found this and the Alice Cooper at the same store. This one here is probably the most expensive album I picked up while I was actually in Greece. Can't remember exactly how much I paid for it, but maybe 13 euro. But if you look this up on Discogs, it goes for a lot more, and the shipping to New Zealand is absolutely ridiculous. So happy I found it. What year did this come out? Pretty sure it came out in 88, 89. My eyesight's getting pretty shitty these days, so yeah, I can't quite read that. Not sure it had a sleeve in it. Nope, no sleeve in that. Whether it originally came with one, I have no idea. But yeah, I'll put that one away later. And yeah, this also came out on MCA Records. But yeah, very stoked to have all three of those albums. Now I've got no more major grails at the moment anyway. And then I have picked up some semi-grails, albums I've really wanted, but I wasn't expressly going out there to find them. First one, absolute classic second album from Enough's Enough and Strength. Doesn't compare to the debut in my opinion. I know a lot of people think this album is much better than the debut, but I never actually had this album as a kid. I had the debut, and yeah, holds so many memories. Probably why it's my favourite, but it's still a fantastic album, and yeah, I've been on the hunt for it. Well, not really on the hunt for it, I've been keeping an eye out for it anyway, but pretty damn expensive if you come across it on the likes of Discogs, etc. This one came out on Atco, and here's the guys, yeah, fantastic glam metal, gritty glam metal, very unique voice. This one came out in, oh, I can't read that, 1991, but yeah, stoked to have Enough's Enough Strength. I'm not going to try and talk about these albums too much. I know I'd love to, but yeah, this video is going to take too long otherwise. And yeah, here we go, and another semi-grail. Had this album on cassette back in the day. I have their second album on vinyl, but always wanted a copy of this on a record, and that is the debut album from Tiger Towels. Actually just been listening to this just before I started making this video. Young and Crazy. Yeah, typical glam metal look there, Poison-esque look, really cool cartoonish picture on the back. Now these guys are from Wales. We don't hear of too many bands coming from Wales, not in the glam area anyway, but yeah, not as good as the second album in my opinion. It's a little less polished, and I do like my polished glam metal, I do, but yeah, still very happy to finally found a copy of Young and Crazy. Found this one in Greece also. Yeah, really good stuff. The Strength, I'm trying to think where I found that. I think I found The Strength in Italy, if I remember correctly, but yeah. Tiger Towels, Young and Crazy from 80, I've got to say 87. I've got it. Yep, 1987. Good stuff. And now something for completely different at the other end of the metal spectrum. I've been on the hunt for this album ever since it came out, but you look on Discogs, there's only a couple of copies of it on vinyl, and it's pretty expensive to get over here to New Zealand. Shipping is a lot more than the album, but combine the two, it's pretty expensive. And that is a band out of Canada, thrash metal band. The band is called Mortillery. Origin of Extinction. Yeah, been on the hunt for this since 2012. I think this album came out originally, but I cannot read that. The writing is teeny, but this is a double album set. Female fronted thrash metal, and it came out on this very, very fluorescent yellowy green vinyl with custom center labels. Another one exactly the same. Yeah, I absolutely love this album here. Yeah, it came out on Napalm Records. Really cool looking punky cover there. And then inside we just have some shots of the band, and we have lyrics, which are very hard to read because it's all different fonts and all different sizes. Struggle to read that, but yeah, fantastic modern thrash metal. Now the first song I heard was FOAD on side C. Oh, I love that song, but yeah, whole album was great. I also have some bonus tracks on here on side D. You have Evil Invaders, a Razor cover, Madhouse by Anthrax, Angel Witch by, of course, Angel Witch, and I Am Destruction, exclusive vinyl track. But yeah, Mortuary out of Canada. If you're not sure of them, do check them out. Really, really good stuff. And wouldn't say this one is a Grail because I have it on CD for years and years and years. But yeah, very, very happy to have it on vinyl. And that is the second album from Exodus and Pleasures of the Flesh. Back in the day I had it on cassette, but I have a CD now. But of course this is an OG pressing on Music for Nations. What year this one came out? 87, 88. And yeah, looking at this, I looked at this so much when I was young, mainly because of the fact that I was intrigued by this picture here, and then checking out the front cover. So yeah, but all the skulls have names, which I thought was pretty cool. But yeah, second album, Pleasures of the Flesh, from the one and only Exodus. This one here I picked up in Italy, and it wasn't cheap, but I had to grab it, as last year when I was overseas I picked up Bonded by Blood OG on vinyl, and I thought it's only fitting if this time around I picked this one up. I do have a reissue of the next album, Fabulous Disaster, but I'd love to find an OG of that as well. But yeah, very happy to own that thrash classic. Now the next one I found, I'm going to say, I'll grab the two I found. Now I found these two in Switzerland. They only went to one record store while I was there because he went there for long enough. But I picked up the debut from New York band Smash Gladys. Absolutely love their album Sexual Distortion, whatever it's called. The second album, had that since I was a kid on vinyl. But until a few years ago, when somebody showed it in the VC, I never knew they had an earlier album. So I was been on the hunt for this one. Never came across a copy, but yeah, when I was in the store there it was. This band there, female fronted band, really, really good stuff. Straightforward heavy metal, hard rock. Came out on Heavy Metal America. The sleeves a little bit grubby, and I will need to change that out. But super clean condition, and we have Heavy Metal America label there on the centering. So that was an album I was super happy to find, as I was with all of these albums. Next one, a band I heard the first time a few years back, well maybe only even a year ago. That band is called Harlow. I'm pretty sure they were a one and done band, female fronted, glammy, hard rock. Yeah, so I had to grab this. I have been on the look out for it. Actually, in the past, I had actually ordered a copy of Discogs, but then they got back in touch with me saying they actually didn't have it anymore, so I missed out on that one. But this one came out in, not sure, to be fair, but there's the cover again. Band called Harlow. I think it's a self-titled. Yeah, it looks like it. There's the band there. Does it say on here what year it came out? 1990. So right at the end of the classic era. It came out on, I'm not sure, Gemma. Now the song Chain Reaction is the first song I heard. It is definitely the best song on the album. Rest of the albums are good, not absolutely fantastic. It's certainly not inventing the wheel, but that first song, Chain Reaction, is an absolute belter in my opinion. Now I'll quickly show a couple of CDs I picked up as well. I only picked up 2 CDs the whole trip. First one, a band that I'd never heard of back in the day, and it wasn't until I joined the VC I saw a few people talking about and showing it. Now this band is out of San Diego in the States. Glam rock metal band, Asphalt Ballet. Now I think they had an EP and an album out after this one, but this is the album I've always seen showing. Yeah, it cost €10, which I thought was a good steal, a good bargain. The vinyl was a lot more, so I picked up the CD. Sorry about the glare there, but yeah, certainly not inventing the wheel. This album came out and can't read it, but yeah, really enjoy this album. There's the guys there, so yeah, grab this because I saw it there. Got this one at Wacken Open Air, and same with this one here. Haven't even opened this one yet, still in the shrink, because I have heard this album many times. It's never owned anything by them on physical format. Vinyl is very expensive, so saw the CD there for €16. I grabbed it, and that is Temple Balls, a modern hard rock glam metal band. Avalanche, really good stuff. If you like bands like from back in the day, like Danger, South Gang, and more modern bands like Crazy Licks or Heat or Crash Diet, check out Temple Balls. This one came out on Frontiers 2023. So yeah, look forward to giving the actual physical version a crack. So that's our 2 CDs, which I forgot to show. Next one, I've actually been on the hunt for this one actually just before I went overseas, and I picked this one up in Italy. Yep, that is Bone Nasty and dirty but well dressed. Always thought the album cover was pretty cheesy, but the music on this is awesome. Really good. Hard rocking stuff. This one came out in 89. There's the guys on the back there. Won't pull the sleeve out. This thing will be here forever otherwise. Still got quite a few more to show, and this one came out on Epic. Yeah, but this is the first one I found in this particular store, and I thought, yeah, I can't pass that up. Can't remember what I paid for it, but yeah, had to grab that one. Classic, probably third tier hard rock from back in the day. Found this one also at the same store, the debut album, and the only one I was missing from the band, apart from the Grails sets, which I don't need. White Lion and Fight to Survive, probably their heaviest, most heavy metal album. Came out on Grand Slam Records, which I've never ever heard of before. I need to give this one a bit of a clean because it's quite dusty and grubby. But yeah, Mike Tramp and the boys. Of course, you have Vito Bratta, very underrated guitarist. You have Greg D'Angelo on the drums. I'm not sure if he has gone on to do anything else because I haven't heard much about him. And of course, you have the one and only James Lomenzo, who was with Ozzy for a while. Who else has he been with? Oh, he's been with Ozzy. And there's some other bands he's been with too. And I think he's still out there performing, as is Mike Tramp with his solo work. But yep, Grand Slam. This one came out in 1985. So couldn't pass that one up to finish my White Lion collection. Back in the day, they were one of my favourite bands. Back when I was a young one getting into the hard rock. Bought Pride and Big Game. Love those albums to pieces. And it wasn't until recently I picked up their main attraction, and now I have Fight to Survive. Next one. Found this one at Buchan Open Air. Had to snag it because I've never ever seen it on vinyl. I know this is a reissue from 2019. I didn't even know it had gotten a reissue, but I had to grab it from the one and only Ozzy Osbourne and Osmosis. I will say, not his finest effort, especially after No More Tears, which is my favourite album from him. Still some good tracks on his, including the song Perry Mason. Now, this is a heavy album. Picked this up at the festival. Came out on a sort of like a really, got a bit of black splattery in it as well. But yeah, won't pull it out. But very happy to have this. Rest in peace, Ozzy. You were the man. Now another album picked up. Greases has a cutout. I've only owned one other album from this band, but I had listened to this online before I bought it. I thought, yeah, I'm getting that. That's really cool for a really good price. I think I paid €8 for it. Black and Blue, In Heat is the name of the album. Oh, no idea what year it came out. Probably about 88, I'd imagine. There's the back there. This is the last album I picked up on the trip on Geffen Records. I do enjoy Black and Blue, but a band I'd actually never heard of back in the day either, until I joined the VC. But yeah, very happy to have my second Black and Blue. Another band I'd never heard of back in the day. I love my thrash metal, but this was this one band that went under the radar here in New Zealand. And I know they've reissued this and their following album, and even the one after that they've reissued. But I was hanging out for a OG, and Mark G with a C. If he watches this, will be very happy. I got this, and that is Zentrix and Shattered Existence. He raves about this band, and of course I've heard this album and the follow-up. But yeah, grabbed this in, I can't remember where I found it. Picked it up for €38. So whether you think that's a good price or not, I don't know, but yeah, couldn't pass it up. English thrash metal on Road Racer. But yeah, really good album. Considering I've never heard of them. back in the day. Really, really good stuff. Now I just need to find an OG of their second album. What's the name of it? Can't remember. Right. Had this album on cassette and CD for the longest time. The debut album is my favourite, but I love this album too. Extreme Porno Graffiti. Picked this up for €15, I think it says on the label. Yeah, fantastic album, apart from a couple of tracks which I don't care for. Of course, you know, More Than Words, can't stand that song, and not a fan of Wholehearted either. But yeah, this came out on A&M. As you guys know, their debut album is my second favourite album of all time. And this is a fantastic album in its own right, but to me, it doesn't quite compare. But you have songs like Decadence Dance, Get the Funk Out, He-Man, Woman Hater, Porno Graffiti. Just a fantastic album, and these guys are still out there performing today, obviously without their drummer, but yeah, Porno Graffiti. Had to snag that. Now a band that is not very known at all. I'd heard this album before, but never thought I'd ever own a copy, especially on vinyl. But it's a like third, fourth tier band from back in the day. Even a bit of AOR going on this one. We have Big House. I think it's self-titled. I'm not sure if it's got a name or not. But yeah, saw this and it was cheap. No, it was actually €22, so it wasn't that cheap, really. This came from Mr. Vinylos in Greece. As I said, third, fourth tier, if there was such a tier. Glam rock, hard rock, whatever you want to call it. This one came out in 1991, so yeah, probably why it's been a tough one to find out there. I'm not going to go into too much detail. I can't even remember where they're from, to be honest. Probably either the UK or the States, I would imagine. And this just came out on Black Wax on RCA. So yeah, I couldn't leave that behind, because there's no way in heck I'd ever find that again. Unless I paid a huge amount of shipping costs. Our next one is just a single. We have a bit of thrash metal. We have English band Onslaught, and the cover of the AC/DC song Let There Be Rock. Super cheap. Picked this up in Greece also on Under One Flag. Flag 103. Of course, it's got Let There Be Rock on side A, and then side B it's got Metal Forces, Power from Hell, Angel of Death live. But yeah, just a cheap little score. I couldn't pass up, because even the likes of this you don't find over here. So yeah, had to grab that. And then at the same store, also found this absolute English classic, a bit of Acid Rain and The Fair. I picked up their EP back in 2023 when I was over in England, and I picked this one up in Greece. Actually haven't had a chance to listen to this one yet. I actually have never heard this album. Now these guys are more of your cheesy, funny style of thrash, don't take themselves seriously at all, and that's what I picked up on their EP. But yeah, another one on Under One Flag, and of course we have a typical thrash metal band collage. This one came out, this one was made in France, but I'm not sure what year it came out, but it doesn't really matter. Just very, very happy to have The Fair by Acid Rain. How long are we going for? 30 minutes, better hurry this up, still got a few to go. A band I'd never heard of before, actually had listened to these guys while I was in the shop, because the album cover really, really intrigued me. And that is the band called Risk. Really fun album cover, especially with the shark. I love Jaws, so yeah, it really enticed me. The album is called Dirty Surfaces, and yeah, apparently they are. Oh, I actually I had to listen to it, but I haven't listened to the full album yet. The speedy, thrashy heavy metal from Germany. This one cost me 28 euro. It's a German VG. Probably never been reissued before. Their debut album also has quite a cool cover on it as well. I wouldn't mind tracking that one down. But here's the guys on the back. This one came out in 1990 on Steamhammer. But yeah, a worthy addition to my German collection. More speed metal than thrash metal. I know some people do class them as thrash metal, but I call them speedy heavy metal. So yep, very happy to have that. Of course, we have typical stuff on the sleeve. Also, I picked up another one from the same store here. From when I was in the store in Italy, I picked up the Asurani Onslaught. An artist from Japan by the name of Abuki. Now, I had never heard of her before. The album's called X Myself, and this is a European special edition, but I love my Japanese female-fronted metal. So, yep, I had a quick little listen to it online. Thought, yeah, it's pretty cool. So I snagged a copy. Now, this is a second-hand copy. The album came out in 2012, if I remember correctly. Can't see the date on there, but I think it's about 2012, between 2012 and 2014, I'd say. But yeah, it came on this really cool, sort of like sea blue album. Came out on Setsosku Records and A-Line Music. So yeah, just a bit of a fun grab. Thought, yeah, won't see that in New Zealand, so I thought I'd snag that to add another Japanese female-fronted metal band to my collection. Big fan of this band. Not a fan of the lead singer's political views at all, but I love their music. It's a reissue. All that remains. The Fall of Ideals. Fantastic band. I own a couple of their CDs and a couple on vinyl. This is my second vinyl. Black Bear. This one came out, and this is your modern. I wouldn't say metalcore because they're more than metalcore. They're much better than the average metalcore band. This one came out originally in 2006. If it was called metalcore, it's a very, very melodic metalcore. The guy can sing, I tell you that much, but he can also rip out a great shred as well. But yeah, All That Remains, Full of Ideals. Always wanted an OG of this, but could never find one for a decent price, so I picked up the reissue of Anthrax and Among the Living. Found this one in Italy, fairly cheap. On your standard black wax. Oh, of course, this album came out. I'm going to say when this one come out. It's a 2024 reissue. Came out 85, 86. So I'd imagine my brain's fried at the moment, but of course we have the band on the back. I've always been a massive fan of Dan Spitz. Such a little dude, but my God, he was a rip shredder of a guitarist, and this whole album is absolutely brilliant. Of course, you have Among the Living, Caught in the Mosh, Indians, which was actually the first song I actually heard from Anthrax. So yeah, very, very happy to finally own it on vinyl. Of course, I have it on CD, but yeah, having it on vinyl is pretty damn cool. I've got 3 left. Now these are all newer albums. First one being a band out of Canada, I'm pretty sure out of Canada. Thrash metal from the band Hazard. This is the album from 2024. I really want the album that was the album before this one because it is awesome. Haven't had a chance to listen to this one yet, but I found this one at Market Open Air and I snagged it. Calgary, Canada's thrash metal maniacs return with the anticipated new album. Limited edition, 300 copies on Mars Attacks coloured vinyl. So yeah, awesome modern thrash metal. And there's the, there's the vinyl there. So yeah, saw this and I thought, I didn't grab it at first, but a couple of days later I went back and I snagged it. Because I knew I'm not going to find it over here. Now, for two 2025 releases. First one being a German pirate metal band, not like Ailstorm. These guys take them more seriously. But we have Stormseeker and Set the Sails. Really good pirate metal, melodic, really anthemic, catchy sing-along tunes, gang vocals in places, just really killer stuff. I'm not going to pull it up because it's very hard to get in and out of the sleeve. This is a 2025 release. Came on a marble vinyl, and it came out on SPV. But yeah, there's quite a few tracks on this album, and really enjoying it. So I grabbed that one, and the last one is definitely going to be in my top list of the year. Actually had this on my list to pick up when I was in Germany, and that is Misfire's brand new album, Product of the Environment. Need to pick up their previous album. This one came out on that colour, green and black splatter vinyl. Really good thrash metal, and I cannot remember where they're from, to be fair. I did look it up, but now I've forgotten again. But yeah, really good modern thrash metal. And yeah, this will definitely be up there on my list, unless some albums come out very soon that knock it off the list. So hope you guys enjoyed that. If you managed to stick around, I'm really happy with my purchases I picked up overseas. In actual fact, there was so many others I could have grabbed, but don't have the room in the suitcase. Or as it was, we had to buy another suitcase to put a whole lot of stuff in. But yeah, what I did grab, I'm very happy with, and yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys again soon for another update or a video of some description. Bye for now. Have a great weekend.